To all those above me that watch over me, to all of you, my fave parapeeps on this side of the veil, welcome to the Paranormal Ministry. I'm your host, Sean Whittington. I'm a seminarian in the United States Old Catholic Church. And thank you also very much for coming and spending an hour out of your busy Friday afternoon to hang out. So, listen, this is the story. And all of you that have a podcast or a radio show or a video cast like this, or not, or have seen your fair share of them, you know that if something can go wrong, it will. I promised you all last week that we were going to be in Ireland tonight, and I was all ready. I had my blessed Celtic cross that was gifted to me from a priest in Ireland. I had, it was going to be 10 o'clock on a Friday night there in Ireland, so in case we had some trouble, I had my shillelagh ready. But my guest, Jenny Sullivan, is having major Wi-Fi issues there on the Emerald Isle, and we haven't been able to hook up yet. But I told her, keep working on it, and if you get your situation sorted out and you're able to pop in, good evening, Natalie, and you're able to pop in, just pop on in, and when my producer Zach sees you in the green room, he'll just throw you right on in and interrupt me from wherever I'm at. So having said that, tonight is going to just be me doing my song and dance. And it may not be even a full show today because there will be no live show Monday. Well, actually, there won't be a live show Monday, but my producer Zach tells me he's going to do a replay of an archive. And it was a show that was just done a couple of weeks back with the whole Mass Hauntings team. That show got rave reviews and everybody's still talking about it. So he's going to replay that show on Monday night. The show that had the whole Mass Hauntings team here, and that will be this coming Monday. And then I will be back the following Friday with an all new live show. And you guys love her, and it's hard to get her on this show because of everything that she's into. Ira Wolfnesson will be here Friday, August 26th. And I'm going to throw something else out there while we're talking about the show. I know this is a couple of months out, but the last Monday of every month, as you guys know, is Happy Medium Monday, where Susan Ahern, the Happy Medium herself, live from Cape Cod, comes on, and she does free live on-air psychic readings. We don't take call-ins, so have your questions ready. Tune in live and just throw your questions into the chat room, and she will address them live on air and give you your quickie free psychic reading. That happens to fall on Halloween, the last Monday of October. So we're going to do a show. We're going to still have Happy Medium Monday. But I want everybody to start planning now. If you don't want your free psychic reading, start writing down your favorite Halloween tradition or favorite Halloween story. You may have experienced something on Halloween of all nights that you want to share, and send those in to me, and I'll read them that night. I'll call you out. I'll say this story was sent in by yada yada, and I'll share your story with your Halloween story with everybody. So mark that on your calendar too. Let's do the prayer urn. Got one prayer. Oh my gosh. I knew I was busy in the prayer urn this week, and I saved one for the show. Joe F. from Louisiana. I'm a new convert to Catholicism. Well, God bless you, Joe. I'm just beginning to learn prayers. What should I pray on a daily basis? Oh my gosh, that is just a wonderful, wonderful request. And where do I start? Okay, my discernment is telling me, Joe, to keep it keep it simple with you, man. I don't want to blow you out here. Try this. Learn the Hail Mary. It's a relatively short prayer. If you don't already know it, you can find it online, print it out, tape it to your refrigerator door, and start with the the devotion of the three Hail Marys. The three Hail Marys. Say 3 Hail Marys every morning when you wake up, 3 Hail Marys every night before you go to bed. And while you're doing this, do an examination of conscience and ponder on the meaning of life as your new life as a Catholic. And just ponder on asking our Mother to be your guide and help you be the very best version of yourself you can be every day. That's the 3 Hail Marys devotion goes way, way back. I'm thinking, early 13th century. Many saints have talked about the things that it did for them. Many saints talk about how they even got messages from the Virgin Mary while doing this devotion. And they say that if you are devoted to this devotion, when you die, Mary will come to you. So try that, the 3 Hail Marys devotion. And we might as well say the Hail Mary. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. I know I can hear people now saying, you don't have that prayer memorized, you have to read it. I read every prayer because, well, I don't want to go into detail here, but every time I try to do anything like that, as simple as it seems, sometimes, boom, you come under attack and you just totally forget who you are, what you're doing, what you're saying and praying. So I pray everything. And you know what? You didn't request this, Joe, but I'm going to do it for you anyhow. I'm going to light a candle for you, okay, brother? For my new brother, Catholic brother. This candle will sit here and burn with us, Joe, for the remainder of the show, and then it will continue to burn. I will put it in the room after the show with all the other candles that burn for people that I have in there, and it will continue to burn for you. So what I would like to say for you, Joe, is may the Holy Spirit enter and intervene in your life right now and remain with you on the remainder of this journey of yours and on into the next. God bless you, brother. Okay. Let's check the mailbag, the Paranormal Ministry mailbag. I've been busy in there too. Let's hope I saved one in here too. Yep, I got one. Kate B. from New Orleans. Wait a minute, did I already say Joe was from Louisiana? Well, Joe F. from Louisiana. This is too funny. Kate B. is from New Orleans. I don't know if Joe's also from New Orleans. That's too funny. Okay, do you believe in the loop guru? I believe a local bayou witch cursed a neighbor of mine and turned him into one. What should I do? I don't mean to laugh, Kate. Are you sitting down? Yes, I do believe in the loop guru. I am one of those weirdos that believes lycanthropy, werewolfism, is a real thing, is a form of demonic possession. I have worked a case where when the unclean spirit manifested through this person, they became very animalistic like. It was quite unnerving. And I find there's a little bit of truth in all of these old legends, especially down throughout the Bayou region, the Southern Bible Belt, and all that. So yes, I do believe in the loop guru, and I do in Bayou witches is a real thing too. I wouldn't, if I were you, I wouldn't give that Bayou witch, if you know who it is, a hard time. Now, I wouldn't go wandering around by myself at night out there in your neck of the woods. if you think somebody is a loop guru. I'd bring my animals in at night. I know if you've got livestock, that can be difficult, but I'd bring my animals in at night. And I would get local clergy to come over and do a property cleansing, blessing, and exorcism on your property to protect you. You can also find this prayer, and I'm going to have Joe look up the Hail Mary online and print it out. You can look up a prayer called the Hedge of Protection prayer. Now that prayer is much longer than the Hail Mary. It's a long prayer. So you want to print that one out. But I would at least once a week go out on my front porch and I would recite out loud the Hedge of Protection prayer out into the cosmos, out in the open on your front porch. And then and just be careful. But yes, long story short, I do believe in that. So be careful. You guys got a lot of weird things down there in the New Orleans area, which reminds me, and it's funny that I'm talking about New Orleans because my co-producer Zach Clayton, him and I in the green room before the show started, was talking about some adventures of mine when I spent 10 days in the French Quarter for a concrete convention 30 years ago because I had my own diamond saw blade business at the time. And I went there for a convention and I stayed in a haunted hotel downtown in the French Quarter. And I was still doing the ghost thing then. So every day after the convention was over, I'd eat, go take a nap. Then I would go out late at night and venture around the outskirts of the French Quarter into areas where probably if you did that today, you'd get shot and mugged. But I would go out looking for these old, interesting looking abandoned locations and go and start taking some pictures and hanging around. And Zach said, "Does anybody ever come on the show and tell you a story and you just kind of you don't show it, but inside you're going, huh? Well, I'm about to tell you a story, then you're all going to go, huh?" I think I was stalked by a vampire. I remember on my way late one night, on my way back from ghost hunting by myself in the French Quarter, this gentleman was standing on this corner, and he was probably 6'2", skinny like a POW, white like a sheet, dressed in period dress, like maybe 20, 30 years older than me. Not like Interview with a Vampire back in the day type dress, but period piece. It jumped right out at me, and this guy was just staring at me. And I got really creeped out and walked a couple of blocks and turned right, and there he was, another block in front of me on the corner, just waiting on me. Went down another street, turned, there he was. Another block ahead of me on the other side of the street, just standing there staring at me. Started really creeping me out. We were playing this cat and mouse thing where he was trailing me back to my hotel room. To finally, I got to the hotel room and I went in there, and I didn't sleep a wink that night. I was ready. I was I had my crucifix in my hand. I was ready for, is he coming in the door? Is he coming in the window? Then I had to deal with the ghost that was in the room too, which was interesting. So yeah, that's my French Quarter story there. So listen, if there's anything you want to know about my wife and I and our ministry work, go to our website, www.ghost-b-gone.biz. If you go to the website, there's a lot of cool things there to see, but I know times are tough. Keep in mind that my wife and I, we've been doing this helping people with their paranormal issues thing for a long time, and we don't charge for it. So if you notice the donate button and you're able to do so, click on it and send in a small donation. I promise you, it'll be appreciated from the bottom of our hearts. And trust me, we will put it to good use. Um, don't leave. Now, this is for limited time because, like I told you guys earlier in the show, I'm now currently in the seminary with the United States Old Catholic Church. So one day, this will be Father, God willing, and God definitely has taken me by the hand and he's walking me down this path. Who enters the seminary at 62? Every time I ask somebody that, they go, "You do." Um, so one day I'll be Father Sean Whittington, and you won't find this on the website anymore because But, I took a very lengthy, expensive course to become a certified spiritual advisor, certified Christian counselor, certified listener. And so there is a page on there called Spiritual Advisor. And right now, I'm going to do away with that when I become ordained a priest. But right now, I am still a certified spiritual advisor. So if you're having issues of a spiritual nature not attached to the paranormal, there is a place on the website where you can make an appointment with me to speak with me, whether it's Zoom, Skype, over the phone, or you're here local in Las Vegas. But that page will be going away, and I will no longer be doing that once I become ordained. Now, before you leave the website, navigate over to the page called the WSE course/book. On that page, you'll find the Ghost Store. And on the Ghost Store is a lot of cool things to purchase. One being this cool throwback Ghost Be Gone coffee cup, hoodies, t-shirts, some other odds and ends, some cool things to purchase if you go for that sort of stuff. But scroll down to the bottom of that page and you'll see my new haunted autobiography, God, Ghosts, and the Paranormal Ministry. And I quote, "Scariest book I ever published." That was Annette Munich, owner of Stellium Books, my publisher. But don't let that scare you off of purchasing a copy of the book. I'll tell you why. I like to refer to the book. It's a supernatural and spiritual autobiography. Definitely I wrote this book. I'm not an author. So bear with me when you read the book. I just write down what spirit tells me to write, and then I come at you from my heart and I wear my emotions on my sleeve and I just lay it all out there for you. But I refer to the book as a very different kind of feel-good story. There's a lot of good versus evil in it, where good wins. But the best part about the book is if you haven't done your good deed for the day yet, part of the proceeds of every sale of every copy of my book goes to support stjude.org, St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, Nevada, and the ASPCA. So your purchase ends up helping some of the neediest children on the planet and the animals too. How cool is that? So you can get the book a little less expensive at Amazon, but if you purchase it off of the website, it comes autographed. And I don't know if that lessens the value of the book if I leave and go to heaven. But I autographed the book for you, and it arrives in a house blessing kit, which is very cool. And I can't tell you how many people have told me that they started having issues. They were already having issues, but they were having issues while reading the book or since the book arrived. And they were glad that they had that house blessing kit. And who knows, depending on what I have here in stock, you get anything I have here in stock that I can throw in there, I will throw in. But usually you get probably blessed white sage dipped in dragon's blood. You probably get some Palo Santo wood. You get some blessed salts. And my salts are a combination of many different salts. I've got some Himalayan pink salt in there that a shaman sent me. I've got sea salt, kosher salt, Dead Sea salt, Hawaiian black salt, and they're all blessed and mixed together in this little bottle for you. I also send you blessed anointing oil and blessed holy water, my special Exorcist Mojo Strength holy water, and probably some blessed incenses. I usually throw in some frankincense and myrrh, Three Kings, Ethiopian. So you got a kit that arrives that will help you do what you need to do if you're having some issues. Speaking of issues, I got to throw this out there. Disclaimer. If you guys purchase the book there is this picture in the book. And the apparition that I caught in the book, hopefully you guys can see it here. It's the bottom picture. Now, I don't know if that is a young boy or a young girl, but I was out in the middle of nowhere in an abandoned location out in the middle of Death Valley. It's Dawson's out there. It's a historic site. So Dawson's out there reached out to me and asked me to come and investigate. And so my wife and I went out there. And I was up on the top of a ladder in a loft, and I sensed something was following me, and I turned around, and I couldn't see anything. But what I did see, the naked eye, down at the bottom of the ladder, was what appeared to be something cloaked, almost like a predator. And so I took several photos. Well, in one of the photos, that apparition showed up. Now, since I wrote the book and put that picture in the book, my wife and I have both seen that apparition here in the home. And this is how it usually happens. My wife will walk by this. I'm in my office now. This is the back of the house, and I live in a haunted house. But my wife will walk by here, the door will be open, and she'll glance in here, and she'll see me right here at my desk working, typing or talking to somebody or doing something, working. She'll know that it's cool now to walk into I'm not doing something that she doesn't want to interrupt me from doing in the master bedroom, or I'm not in the master bedroom bathroom. She can go in there if she needs to go in there. So she'll walk in there. And we don't sleep in that room any longer because my wife and I are both survivors of an extreme demonic attack that occurred here in the home, and it lasted for about 6 weeks. But most of the attacks took place in the master bedroom, so we still don't sleep in there. We still to this day sleep on a California Queen mattress on the floor with our Mastiff in the living room. So the master bedroom now is one of 2 storage rooms here in the home, and this is another bedroom, which I turned into my office. It's also my wife's office too, but she'll walk by here and see me sitting here. She'll go in there, walk into the bathroom. There I am in the bathroom. I know that's TMI. But there I am in the bathroom, and she'll go, wait a minute, I just saw you in the office. I'll go, no, that's not me. Touch me, I'm real. I'm sitting right here. And we will then see this apparition walk out of the office. Now it's not me any longer. It's this apparition that's pictured in the book. Come out of the office, walk down our hallway and across our living room and out our back door. We even see our dog seat. If our dog's sleeping on the bed, she'll raise her head up and actually watch the apparition go out the door. She doesn't freak out, like animals usually will freak out if it's something demonic, so we don't think it's demonic. My usual spidey senses that alert me to something that I should probably handle right then and there doesn't pop up. So we don't know what it is. Starts as, for lack of a better term, my doppelganger, and then it turns into the apparition. So why am I telling you this story? Because people that have bought the book off of Amazon, in the many years the book has been out, I've only had a couple of people that have purchased it off of Amazon reach out to me, but several people that have got the book from me, and I've got a stack of them here that sit here in the office that I autograph and then send out, have reported having seen that apparition in their home when they purchased the book. When the book arrives, shortly after the book arrives, they see the apparition there in their home. That's mind-blowing. So I just thought I would throw it out there. It's like, I think a real estate agent should tell a person who's interested in a home that the real estate agent is showing them that the house is rumored to be haunted. Can't prove it, but you should know. Well, I think you all should know that there's been some occasions where that has happened with this book. So I thought you said don't let that scare you off of buying the book. like I said, don't be scared, guys. I don't think it's malevolent, and you may not have issues with it, but and I bless the book. And you can also reach out to me after you purchase the book if you're having some issues, and I'll talk you through it. But this book, it's like I said, Spirit told me to write it and was with me as my literally, for lack of a better term, my ghostwriter throughout the whole process of writing that book. And like I said, I'm not an author. I never thought I would write a book. So there it is. Now, it would be a great time to pick up the book, and I'll tell you why. Because God, Ghosts, and the Paranormal Ministry 2, Chronicles of an American Exorcist, comes out. We're days away from the book coming out. It's all ready to publish. I talk about something in the book, a big event that's going to happen to me, and I'm expecting the announcement any day now. And when that announcement comes, I can share it. But uh, a big event is happening for me this fall, and I write about it in the book. A lot of uh, behind the scenes things that happened during this project. And since I'm not allowed to talk about it yet, I can't publish the book. The book's ready to go. All Annette Munich has to do is press a button, and boom, the book's out there. But I can't until I'm been given permission that people can read about this particular story in the book. So that's coming out. So it's a great time to get the first book, get all caught up, because there are some stories in the first book that, because they were still open cases, that I couldn't bring closure to and bring an ending to in the book. And some of those stories I revisit in the second book. So great time to get the first book, get it read, and then you'll be all ready to get God, Ghosts, and the Paranormal Ministry 2, Chronicles of an American Exorcist. And now let me warn you about that book. Here it is. Disclaimer time. More disclaimer stuff. Oh no, Rev, more disclaimer stuff. Yeah, I got to tell you these things. This second book, I upped my game. These are stories of cases that I worked that I had never intended on sharing with anybody. My wife knew about them. People that helped me on the cases knew about it. Some colleagues in this field of deliverance ministry knew about them. But I wasn't going to share them out there because, I've had my fair share of people that have reached out to me very upset. Like, I may belong to some psychic group pages on Facebook. And back in the day, I used to get excited over some evidence and post a picture on these. And I should have known better. I know that pictures, for instance, sometimes can, like antiques, haunted objects, they can hold on to energy. Well, pictures can do the same. That's why a lot of Native Americans, indigenous people, won't allow you to take their picture. And so that's the same way with these stories. I would sometimes share these stories with people and share pictures with people. And if they're extremely sensitive and gifted empaths, that bad mojo sometimes would blanket them and it'd be very hard for them to deal with. So I stopped doing that. So I share very little evidence because a lot of the evidence I also destroy after I capture it, because depending on what I've captured in the evidence, it can be bad mojo to hold on to that stuff. So these stories are stories that I intended never to share. So I'm going to throw this out there to you now. The book will be available, I'm sure, on Amazon. I'll get a ton of them sent to me, and you'll probably be able to purchase them from me, also autographed. I'll throw them in the same house blessing kit. And I think Amazon's working on a package deal where you can buy both books together and save a little money. Now, having said that, I would highly recommend The book will be blessed, but I would highly recommend if you get the book, before you read it, if it's time to sit down and read it, I would pray before reading it. If you feel the need to pray while you're reading it, great. I would recommend when you're done reading it, I don't know if you plow through it in one sitting, cool. But if you chapter by chapter, when you're done, before you come back to it again, I would pray also when you're done with it. And I wouldn't read it alone in the home. If you're alone, I'd wait till somebody else is at least in the house. And I wouldn't read it at night. Just throwing it out there. And what I have here in front of me are just the first page of all the chapters. And there are other stuff in the book. Like there's a great recipe in there for a truly blessed meal, and I mean that, a blessed meal that you can serve not only to yourself or to other loved ones in your family, but there's a recipe for a blessed meal in there. There's exorcism prayers in there, some of the most powerful exorcism prayers that I too probably wouldn't have shared, but I shared them because of other things that I shared in the book. Thought they might come in handy. So there's some very powerful prayers in the book. But chapter 1, another exorcism by long distance. And the Worldwide Society of Exorcists, which I'm a founding member, we do a lot of those where, we may all get together and do an exorcism over Zoom or over Skype. And I don't advise that. We don't charge for it. But sometimes you can't get to the Ukraine and help somebody with a possession. Somebody in the clergy there reaches out to us here. I get help from several other exorcists, from whoever's available, and we all get together on this group Zoom, Skype, or however meeting, and we definitely assist the exorcist there in this exorcism by distance. But sometimes one of us will take authority over the exorcism and do it there online. So this is one of those stories. This is this one will take your breath away, what happened in that story. And that's all Worldwide Society of Exorcists. And like I said, I offer a college level online course, Introduction to Spiritual Warfare, through the WSC. And this is a course for all you true warriors for Christ that feel a calling and a longing to want to have more knowledge when it comes to circling the wagons, drawing your line in the sand, putting up a good fight against, God forbid, true evil if it ever comes calling. That's the course for you. No, it's not going to train you how to be an exorcist. It's exactly what it is, Introduction to Spiritual Warfare. But I am the instructor. So it is a course unlike any other course you can get in this field. It's a very different course. Like me, I'm a little bit different. So you can enroll in the course there on my website. You can also, if before you make that type of commitment, if you want to know more about the course, there's a Worldwide Society of Exorcists Facebook page. You can read a little bit more about the course. You can just reach out to me. I'm approachable. I'm easy to find. Got a couple of different emails. There's an email on the website. There's a contact us form on the website. My regular email is plastered everywhere. You can reach out to me. We can talk about if the course is right for you. So that's the Worldwide Society of Exorcists, Introduction to Spiritual Warfare. Chapter 2, A Wolf in Holy Man's Clothing. This is too funny. We talked about the Loup Garou. This is a case I worked on an Indian reservation. And that's all I'm going to say. A Wolf in Holy Man's Clothing is chapter 2. And that is a case where it's going to remind you a lot of that question that this person sent in today about the Loup Garou. That is a great story. Chapter 3, All Saints Day. And that is a day that it comes right after Halloween. And I know what story this is. And this story took place on All Saints Day. And this is going to you'll never look at All Saints Day the same again after reading chapter 3. Chapter 4, probably my favorite chapter in the whole book. Soul Carnage Carnival. I know I'm smirking on that one only because the ending of the story, I'm thinking of that, and probably one of the most fascinating things that happened to me at the end of a possession case in my career happened at the end of this story. But this case is also unlike any case I ever worked before or since. Soul Carnage Carnival. Chapter 5, Your Camp Must Be Holy. If you're going to be in the paranormal field, ghost busting, ghost hunting, paranormal investigating, you're just a die-hard parapsychologist / skeptic trying to debunk everything, which is cool. We need those too. UFOlogy, cryptids. If you're in this field, chapter 5 is going to speak to you because you have to keep your camp holy. It's like before I do an exorcism, I make sure I go to confession, attend Mass, receive communion, fast for 24, 48 hours, try to get myself as close to being in a true state of grace as I can. Very important. Keep your camp must be holy, should be on your mind for everybody in this field before you go out and you end up at the wrong place at the wrong time, saying or doing the wrong thing, end up with an attachment, and your life is turned upside down, and now you're fighting for your very life and for your very soul, and you got to reach out to someone like me for help. You can prevent that sort of stuff from happening before it happens. So, chapter 5 is going to speak to everybody in this field. Your camp must be holy. Chapter 6, God, I'm ready for my close up. And I have to laugh on that because everybody involved in the project, if they're watching this show, they know what chapter 6 is already about. God, I'm ready for my close up. So, this is the chapter that I can't talk about until the official announcement is made, and then Annette can push the button and the book will be out, and then you can read about it. But by the time you get the book, you'll probably already know what the announcement was about, and then you can read about that project in the book. Chapter 7, the REV's State of the Paranormal Union Address and Spiritual TLC. And that's exactly what that is. You know me, I'm not a ranter and I don't call people out, but every once in a while, and it's been a few, since the first book that I had a chance to write down where my where I'm at now in my observations of the paranormal field, the field of paranormal research, where I'm at with that, the field of deliverance ministry, cryptids, ufology, TV, paranormal reality television series, movies based on alleged true paranormal stories. All of that. That chapter is exactly what it is. My State of the Paranormal Union address. And then I throw in a little spiritual TLC because I don't want to leave you guys without from the heart. Things that I will tell you from the heart in chapter 7 on how to just be the very best version of yourself that you can be every day, especially if you're in this field. Chapter 8, Encore. Where Mary is present, the devil is absent. We talked about the Hail Mary earlier and our mother, Mary. Too funny. The last chapter. You know what? I'm going to take that back. The last chapter in the book is my favorite. The last chapter of the book is my favorite. Yeah, that one is another story unlike anything I've ever written about, experienced before or since, and I'll leave it at that. And remember, there's something else that I want this gentleman to know that sent me in this question. Joe F. from Louisiana, a new Catholic. A lot of people talk about blessed metals and blessed items. And I don't have to tell you all who have had issues of an extreme malevolent issue. And this is for you too, Joe. Get a crucifix, not a cross. A crucifix has Christ crucified on it. Crosses don't have him on there. Get a nice wall crucifix. Have it blessed. Get it up on a wall in your home now. Blessed metals. If you don't know what the miraculous metal is, am I wearing one? I think I am. I have one on. Well, you guys aren't going to be able to see this. Oh, I have a crucifix too, but see that metal? I'll hold it up for a little bit, best I can. The miraculous metal. Read about it. Read the story behind the miraculous metal. It's a beautiful, beautiful story. It's all about it's a metal that the Virgin Mary actually gave the design of the metal in a vision to a girl. I believe she was a nun, and if she wasn't a nun, she was at least an extremely holy woman. And she designed the metal from this vision where Mary instructed her on how to design this metal. In my humble opinion, now you name it and I've got it. I get them by the bag loads. I order bag loads. That comes in your house blessing kit, a blessed metal, among other very special blessed items you can only get from yours truly. And then also, every student that graduates my course through the Worldwide Society of Exorcists gets a stunning diploma suited for framing, along with some other very special blessed items that you can also only get from me. But I get these medals like 100 at a time in a bag. They're all from the Vatican, blessed by the Pope. And there are a variety of medals, all the saints, including other types of medals in there. But in my humble opinion, the miraculous medal is the most powerful medal of protection against the bad guys that you can wear. Print out the story of it, read about the miraculous medal, and if you don't already have a miraculous medal, get one and wear it. Okay, so there you have it. What do you guys want to talk about now? Anthony Lewis, question. Why do I see cop shield as Roman shield? Cop shield is Roman shield. Not 100%. I'm going to wing it here, Anthony. Not 100% sure the cop shield and Roman shield, but you know that St. Jude is the patron saint of cops and impossible causes. And you know, most police officers, at least the ones that I've met throughout my lifetime, are very devoutly religious people. You got to be, because when you wake up in the morning and go to work in that job, you know, you may not be coming home. And you know, the motto in a lot of police officers, you know, the way they go about doing their business may not be 100% about this motto, but you know, you remember on a lot of cop cars you see, to protect and to serve. You know, just like anything, they take a vow to do just that, protect and to serve. And I'm a big supporter of law enforcement, and so it could have something to do with that. But I don't want to misspeak here. But I would my best guesstimation would be that that's why they're shields, they're badges. If that's what you're referring to, badge refers to that. It's because it's probably rooted in some type of, you know, religious protection, something that you can identify with as, you know, protection. Gilliam Murphy. Hi, Gilliam. Hi from Ireland, Sean. Well, it's nighttime there, but I'll still give you a top of the morning to you, Jillian. How was how was my Irish accent there? Can you give a bit of info about the scapula, please? Do I have my scapula on me? That's the only thing I didn't throw. I took it off because I took a quickie shower, and I don't wear my scapular in the shower. It would. Do I have scapulars here? I do. Hey, I got some scapulars here. This scapular is the Crusader, the brown Crusader scapular, and it has a little crucifix on it and a little Saint Benedict medal on it. The brown scapular Crusader, the brown Crusader scapular. And this is the heavyweight. This is the heavyweight scapular. And you get these too, whether you're a student or order a book from me here in the house. This is the St. Michael scapular. The scapular. Back in the day, now I'm not a theologian, but I'll tell you what I know. Back in the day, they wore these vestments, religious vestments, and as centuries and hundreds of years went on in Catholicism amongst the holy people, they shortened that up and then it became the scapular. Scapulars are very blessed pieces of cloth that are to be worn against the skin under the shirt 24/7, except for when you're in the bath or in the shower. And there's many types out there. I happen to love the brown Crusader scapular. There's another brown scapular that the Carmelites put out. The Carmelite nuns are all about that. I've got a couple of those. I got one actually hanging, a religious relic, brown Carmelite scapular hanging around the neck of a crucifix that's almost as big as I am that I got from that hung in a chapel over the altar in a Carmelite nun convent for many years. And that's in my hallway, and I have a brown scapular around the neck of Christ. I think I've never seen a scapular that I didn't think was absolutely beautiful. And like I said, I had mine on, but I took it off before I jumped in the shower real quick. I know the show doesn't have smell-o-vision, but it's been really humid out here, and I was feeling a bit ripe before the show, so I wanted to clean up for you guys. So yeah, that's my story on the scapular. There's a lot more to them. Every scapular has a story. So I would go online, pull up scapulars, look at all the many different types, read about them. I trust you. Trust me. One will jump out at you. One will jump out at you as being, oh, that speaks to me and that's beautiful. I want to get one of those. But when you get it, take it to the nearest Catholic church. And if you have to make an appointment to see the priest there, fine. But if you can just walk in and see him walking around in there, or you don't need an appointment, you can just go in and I'd like to talk to a priest. Okay, be with you in a moment, ma'am or sir, and wait for the priest. Have a priest lay hands on it and bless it for you and wear it all the time under your clothes against the skin, but don't bathe or swim in it. I have a Carmelite one that a Monsignor gave me. Oh my gosh, very powerful. Good for you. And I wish I was able to have gotten Jenny on today because she's there in Ireland with you. And you know what? I just now updated the itinerary for my Ireland trip. We'll talk about that a little bit here because I want as many of you to come along as possible. Kristen Renee Harris. Hi, Kristen. I wonder exactly what you do. Me too. Me too. I want to know what I do too. Okay, this is what I do. I'm just me. I was ordained exorcism deliverance minister through a Christian university. And that's what I do. I got drug into this field of deliverance ministry, kicking and screaming, I assure you. You don't wake up one morning and say, I want to be an exorcist. So that's where I am. When I met my wife 20 years ago, and we're celebrating our 20th wedding anniversary on Labor Day coming up here this year. So when I first met her, we started ghostbegone.biz, and we were just paranormal investigators. And it was a few years later that we ran into a case, and it was the mother lode. I'm telling you, it was the mother lode of all malevolent cases. And whatever was there followed us home, and we didn't know how to deal with it. And we both came under attack. And I ended up reaching out into the paranormal community. And for once, the paranormal community came through for me and introduced me to my then mentor, who's now retired. And she was an ordained exorcist. And she took me under her wing and by the hand and walked me through teaching me how to fight this thing and get it out of our home. After we were done and I was successful in doing that, she saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And she said, I think you need to go on and get some formal training in this field and become a deliverance minister if you're interested. And the rest is history. So, but having said that, having been an ordained exorcism deliverance minister, advanced practice for many years, I have now chosen to turn the page on that and enter the seminary with the United States Old Catholic Church. And every time I say that, I just automatically want to say, who enters the seminary at 62? And everybody that knows me and loves me always goes, you do. So that's where I'm at now. And God's definitely taken me by my hand and is walking me down this path. And so with his help, and I'm sure it's going to happen, I'm not in a rush. A lot of studying. I'm buried. But I'll be Father Sean one day. And my mother's laughing right now because my mother used to ask me all my life growing up. My mother, who's the most devout Catholic I'd ever known in my life, used to tell me, I used to just, I'm all over the place growing up. And she would say, do you know what you want to be when you grow up? I don't remember what I would say either. Football player, cop, fireman. Nothing, Mom. I'm just going to live off you the rest of my life. She would always say, you should become a priest. I would just laugh and go, I wouldn't say it, but I would think, you're crazy. I love you. You're my mom, but you're a crazy lady. So she's laughing right now because, ta-da, looks like that's what's going to happen. So that's what I do. But that's not all I do. I have a day job. I am a veterinary technician at a very busy animal hospital here in town. I've been in the animal care industry most of my adult life. My wife is the office manager at the same animal hospital. She's been there 20 years. So I work with animals when I'm not kicking, what, BUTT. Hopefully that answers your questions. And so that's it. And what else do I want to say to you guys? My Ireland trip, we're going to get into that. Kristen, hi, you're back. I used to have dreams of having no power. I've had angels show up to help me. I've done an exorcism. BF, it was freaky. I was ordained too, but I don't live it like you. I was doing psychic medium services and I became tired after my last attack. Well, Kristen, I don't blame you. It's not for everybody. And I too, I'm semi-retired now, and I too will probably one day go into full retirement. I'm going to add you know what I'm going to do? Yes, I do get scared. I'm going to add you to my prayer list tonight, Kristen, and say a prayer for you. And you'll be on this list. Everybody says, do you really have a prayer list, Rev? Yes, I do. It's a little notebook. And when I say I'm going to put somebody on a prayer list, I go into, there's a lot of people in there. I put their name in there. And then I hold on to that book and I pray for everybody every night that's in that book. So I will add you, Kristen. Matter of fact, I'm writing your name down now. I'm going to add you to my prayer list tonight. And yeah, I'm glad you survived that ordeal. I'm ashamed to say that more people than I would like to admit to, I have not been able to help who have come under demonic attack. Um, so be grateful to God that you survived that and that you're a beautiful human being now and that the angels have looked down favorably on you and have helped you. They're still around, your guardian angel. Don't forget to pray to your guardian angel. I should have told Joe. Joe, are you still watching? Pray to your guardian angel every day. And that goes for the rest of you. You have one, whether you believe it or not. Many of you, your guardian angel spends most of their time like this. But pray to your guardian angel every day. And so your guardian angels, your spirit guides, warrior angels that have been assigned to watch over you, Kristen, are all still around. So continue to pray for them and be careful. You being gifted psychically makes you also a bigger target, an easier target. And don't be an easy target. So God bless you for your work in the past. And like I said, I'll add you to the prayer list and I will be praying for you every night. Thank you for the question. My Ireland trip, while we're on the subject, because we were supposed to have a beautiful, talented, gifted young paranormal investigator named Jenny Sullivan on the show today. God bless her. I know she probably felt really bad that she couldn't get her Wi-Fi working today. Oh my gosh, we just have a couple of minutes left. Tell you what, I'll save this for Halloween. But here's the itinerary of my Ireland trip. We're going to places nobody's ever gone to on an Ireland trip before, and I'm going to take single people, men and women, and couples, because there's a rumor I may be renewing people's vows, marrying people at some of these locations, performing mass if I'm an ordained priest by then at some of these locations. The trip is going to rock. So keep your antennas out for when Rev finally announces that the trip is on and we're going. And the price will also be very competitive, and it'll take care of your round trip airfare, your room and board for the full 10 days we're there, the tour bus, and you'll be with me. And we will be doing some haunted stuff, some spiritual stuff, some blessed stuff, and it'll just be really, really cool. So 2 minutes left.
Okay, boss, you gotta answer my question. Where is the scariest place you have ever been?
I'm forgive me, Zach. I'm not going to tell you about that place because that would be to have to talk about a case, and I don't want to give that any extra energy. But number 2 spot right here in this home, right here in my own home.
I was
How's
going to
that?
ask you if maybe it had to do with another date.
You're going to get me in trouble here. Uh, yeah, no, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. He probably wants me to tell the story I told to him earlier today. Oh, scarier date. Yeah, we can't go there. Sorry, brother, we can't go there. Okay, guys, let me thank who I'm supposed to thank before I say goodbye to everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. This was kind of fun.
And we want to thank everybody for bringing their questions to us. Make sure that you stick with us, and anytime that we can, we'll answer the questions on there.
Very cool. And everybody, I know everybody's wondering why Zach isn't on camera when he pops in from the green room here. Zach lives in a nudist colony. So we don't want him today, especially they're having some type of event. We don't want him popping on the screen, especially like Adrian's in the room too, and the two of them together. It's TMI, and we don't need to see that. So I kid.
I look like I should live in a petri dish, if anything.
All right, guys, here we go. Before I get cut off the air here, I want to thank Adrian and Zach Clayton, the newlyweds, my co producers. I couldn't do the show without them. I'm completely computer illiterate. I want to thank Things Network. I want to thank Temple of Phoenix Rising Entertainment. I want to thank Skeleton Key Network. I want to thank PACT, little p, capital ACT, Podcasting for All Coming Together channel. Go there, check out their shows. Everybody that has a podcast on that channel is all people that just want to do good for other people. So check out PACT, little p, ACT, Podcasting for All Coming Together channel. All right. Talk to you about Monday being a replay of my night with the whole Mass Hauntings team. I'll be here next Friday with an all new show. Ira Wolfnison, you'll love her. She's paranormal authority, religious authority, used to be into the occult, and that got her into being back into Catholicism herself. Great guest. Okay. Now comes the time where I try my very poor attempt at putting a smile on everybody's face by telling a bad joke. A joke sent in by one of you that I will pull out of this hat. Okay, I'm not an actor, so bear with me, but I got to act this one out. Okay. A little old man, all bent over with a walker, comes shuffling into an ice cream parlor. He says to the young man behind the counter, "I would like an ice cream sundae." The young man says, "Crushed nuts?" The old man answers, "No, arthritis." Good night, Danny. Good night, Jack. Good night, Dog. Good night, Harold. Rest in peace. Good night, Ernie. Good night, Bill. Good night, Dan. God bless each and every one of you. I love you all. Peace.